Hello, I'm finally back with my proper, unsponsored by anybody, including ASUS, review after over a month of using this lovely Zenfone 7 Pro. These are all my honest thoughts. Nobody's told me to say anything, and nobody's going to stop me from saying anything. This is one of the only completely uninfluenced, honest reviews of this phone. And it's not 100% good, but it mostly is. I could be accused of bias slightly because I do like ASUS products, but I'm someone who just buys ASUS products because I like them and I like how they work, and I like how they do what they do. So that being said, let me start off with the good points. The good points are, first of all, the camera. It has definitely been improved over the Zenfone 6 camera. The results that I'm getting with this are really nice. It really helps the image stabilization. If you're taking a photo of anything, let's use my Sony remote control here. I mean, usually when you think you've got a steady shot and then just at the last minute you realise you've jerked it slightly, well, that never matters because it's always a crystal clear shot, as you can see there. Excuse my dust there, that you can see. But the results are really nice that you can get with this. I can't really overly comment on the selfie cam because I don't put up videos of myself endlessly. No, unlike any other phone on the planet, you will be getting exactly the same results from your selfies as you would with the camera because it uses the exact same lenses. So that in itself is quite good. The speed of this thing is pretty damn swift. There's no slowdown. It doesn't bat an eyelid at any game or app that I use. It's really fast and it's really smooth, and transitions are all fluid and everything's pretty much perfect. But the main thing is the camera has improved over the Zenfone 6. That much I can guarantee you. The battery on this is the same size as on the Zenfone 6, all variants of that, and on the Zenfone 7. I would have liked a larger battery on the, considering it's the Zenfone 7 Pro. It would make logical sense considering all the other differences. It does seem to last longer than the Zenfone 6 because of the OLED display. That's as long as you use dark mode, which I've started using for a few of my apps now. And since I've started using dark mode, I have noticed the battery lasts even longer. Not a massive improvement, but it's definitely there. Now, to the not so good parts. The main thing for me, personally, is the camera bump. I know it's probably Gorilla Glass over the lenses, but even despite that, I just don't feel comfortable and I don't want to put it down on any hard surface to try and avoid scratches, because even inside the tightest of gel cover cases, you will still get that bump poking through over the edge. So in other words, the covers don't protect it. There may be different covers that are bulkier, but obviously you don't want a bulky cover if possible. So I just have to take a little bit of extra care over that. The other thing is the sound. It is unbalanced. You never really feel like you're hearing stereo coming out of either side, as is claimed by ASUS. Certainly this side, the downward firing one, that's always good sound. And that's another good part about the sound, actually, that on all kinds of different sound files that I have, games or MP3s, no matter what I've thrown at it, it doesn't seem to struggle and it doesn't distort. Sound it can handle powerful and awkward sounds that rubbish phone speakers would not be able to handle, including earlier ASUS phones for sure. So that is definitely a good part. They have improved the sound, I would say, to a really good level. Now, I'm going to compare to the ASUS Zenfone 6 because that was my last phone. The viewing angles on the OLED screen compared to the IPS of the Zenfone 6, they're virtually identical. And I'm sorry that you've been lied to by all these people that have been saying that, oh no, it's got to be an OLED screen or it's just not worth bothering. It's exactly the same virtually. You will not be able to tell much of a difference in viewing angles with this versus IPS. I know this for a fact because whilst I can't show you right now because my colleague now has my Zenfone 6, I have seen them side by side and the viewing angles are virtually identical. So anyone that says otherwise is either not telling the truth or probably paid by Samsung, which sites like Android Authority definitely are because they have a Samsung bias. Sorry if that upsets Android Authority because they remove my comments when I try and point that out, but it is a fact because of the way they word everything. And Samsung coincidentally comes up in all their top 10 Android phones all the time. Considering Samsung do not make the best phones, well, draw your own conclusions. Another thing they never mention, conveniently, when they're talking about Samsung, is the fact that at the bottom here, Samsung have, for some unknown reason, swapped the navigation buttons around. So the back button is that side, and the minimize the apps button is that side. Why have they done that? We do not know, but that's what they've done, and it is extremely infuriating. Another thing that I like, I don't know if it's an Android thing or if it's an ASUS design thing, but how simple it is to set the alarms. So like I just started off there, all you do is tap on the clock and then say you want a new one, then you just tap the ad. You've got your clock dials there and ringtones, and it's very, very simple. That's what I like, and you can choose your days to have it repeating or not. I just find it so simple. The reason I mentioned this is because when I went to do it on the Samsung, I tapped the clock and there was this Spotify thing forced in my face there that I never wanted because I'm never going to sign up to Spotify, but just in case I ever did, there's a Spotify thing permanently there that you can't get rid of, which was not great. It is, as they say, or have been saying, a stock Android experience largely. That's not necessarily a good thing because the Android stock experience is being degraded by Google for some reason, especially now they've killed Google Music and replaced it with YouTube. Oh, sorry, YouTube Music. Yeah, that's totally convinced me that it's not YouTube. It's a car crash. I disabled that from my phone, and instead I use it, Alan Partridge. Instead, I use Pulsar, which I would recommend to anybody because if you don't stream like me, you don't have money to burn every month, then Pulsar is free, no adverts, and it works for your locally stored music or stories or relaxation music, which is what I have there. Okay, there's one main thing that I have to address, and that's in this video here. If you just have a look of what this man says about the fingerprint sensor.
Appreciate the choice of a side-mounted fingerprint sensor. It's more reliable than an under-display scanner, even in 2020. Although, and I'm nitpicking here, I don't like how loose and jiggly it feels.
Okay, that, my friends, is simply not true. You notice the way that he held it to the side so that you couldn't see anything about what was going on. There's the fingerprint sensor, and I mean, I could try and make it loose and jiggly if you like, but that would take a lot. I don't really want to destroy my phone by doing that. The fingerprint sensor itself is mostly reliable, but I cannot lie, I really missed the fingerprint sensor there. That was It's so effective and so nice to use, and it worked every single time, give or take, because of my wet fingers. It is good, but like I say, it's not as good. It's not quite as reliable as their rear one. So, but as for loose and jiggly, no, that's not true. Other than that, the other downer is, compared to the Zenfone 6, it's bulkier, and typing is not quite so easy. It's not quite as easy to reach to all the places that you want to. The Zenfone 6 was pretty damn nice for that, but this one, it's taken me a lot of time to get used to stretching a bit further. Also, as for all those criticisms and people saying, oh, it's really heavy, it's not really heavy, unless you're a mouse, unless you have no muscles in your arms, which would be slightly unlikely, because then you'd have some kind of serious medical condition. It's not heavy, and neither is it top heavy, which I've also seen suggested. Someone's saying, oh yeah, it's a bit top heavy because of the extra camera. It isn't. So I don't know where they're getting that from. Probably just some sitting typing in the comments section, having never bought one and never planning to buy one. Now there's one more thing that does bother me. I have to load up a game to show you what I mean. Okay, the thing is, it's all very well having a ooh, that was pretty good. It's all very well having an information thing that you can swipe right, but when you're playing something like this and the queue is right over that side, right at the edge, often you're doing that accidentally and pulling this tray out. Useful as this is, or useful as it can be, it's really annoying when you're pulling it out and you're trying to aim very carefully and you end up pulling that out. Other than that, what can I say? I would totally recommend this phone. For the price you pay, for the camera quality that you get, and that overall feeling of zen, which I definitely have, using this phone every day, every single day, for over a month now. It's a brilliant phone. I think generally I charge it on my normal use about once a day or so. I have had to charge it once at the end, either end of the day, but that's only when I am off work and I'm doing my games pretty much all day, messaging, internet, all that kind of extra stuff. That's what drags the power down, much as it would probably any other phone. Yeah, charging is not needed that often. Basically 13% on this phone is not like 13% on a smaller battery phone, is the main thing to remember, in that you can take this phone out for a quick food shop on 13% and know you're going to come home with it and it'll still have some power in. So that was definitely not the case with my first Zenfone. I took it out at 13% and I knew pretty much it would be dead by the time I finished my shopping. That's definitely not the case here. In addition to that, you've got you've got a ton of battery saving options. Detect battery draining apps. That's a thing that pops up whenever something particularly heavy is putting a drain in your battery. Now it gives you a little notification and offers to turn it off. Slow charging. Never actually turned that on yet. Maybe I should try that. I have good charging habits. It doesn't say outstanding, does it? It gives you a lot of options to preserve the battery. 90%. Now, interestingly, straight out the box, Sony phones are always considered fully charged, or the charging light will go green when you reach 90%. This one, obviously, as you can see, you can choose. So I've switched it to 90 there. And there is a lot of things to go through in the battery department, which I believe a lot of them are ASUS own battery saving things. Overall, it is a beautiful phone, and I would totally recommend this phone over and above anything made by Samsung, because obviously Samsung are not my paymasters. They pay Android Authority. If they were ever to recommend ASUS over Samsung, my god, say goodbye to all your free hotel trips and all that kind of stuff. So there we have it. I hope you have enjoyed my over a month long review. If this has persuaded you in any way to go for this phone, then I'll put the link of where to buy one if you're in the UK. We don't know about American sources, but if you'd like, I can look one up for you. Other than that, I hope you have enjoyed watching. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.